The 10K, the second most popular road racing distance in the world. For some runners, it's a step up from the 5K onto a half marathon, marathon and beyond. For other runners, including myself, it's a favourite race distance, combining an ideal blend of strength, speed, stamina and pace judgment. So in this video, myself, John, a 33-31 10K runner and qualified England Athletics running coach.
And myself, Dawn, qualified England Athletics coach, 38-18 10K runner and current member of England Masters 10 kilometres team.
I'm going to take you through 4 of our favourite 10K training sessions, 3 of which we did coaching other athletes, which can help you get faster and fitter over that 10K racing distance. So let's flick back a few weeks to when the weather was a little kinder than it is today. Fartlek number 1.
So the first session that we recommend to improve your 10K time is a fartlek session, which means speed play.
In Swedish.
And like an interval session, you don't have to do set distances of say 400, 800, 1 mile, etc. And you don't have to run at particular paces.
That's right, you just pick something on the landscape. Could be a tree, a lamppost, or as we're going to see in a minute, a carrot, and run hard to it, and then have a jog recovery before picking up another landmark to run to. So Dawn's now going to do the first part of this fartlek, looking for a bright orange carrot.
Oh, and here we go.
Off you go. So look at my watch, that came out as 0.25 of a mile, or as we call it in math, a quarter of a mile.
So how does a fartlek help you with a 10K? Well, firstly, it gives you better leg turnover, because as you run fast, you're running at a higher cadence. It helps to develop your VO2 max as you run at a faster pace. And also, it helps you to be able to change pace in a race. So if you are in a race with somebody else and they pick up the pace, you can go with it. John is now going to run to the next bridge.
The next bridge. Something for me was about 200 metres, and our Dawn's now going to run a shorter surge.
Oh, Halloween!
Spookiness. Now another variation you can do on this is something we used to do at a club I was in, called the hilly fartlek, where you just run a hilly loop, run fast and hard up the hills, and jog recover between them. The hills again are of no particular set distance or gradient, you just attack them as and when you come across them. The short one for Dawn now, to the bridge, probably about 80 yards. So fartlek training was developed in the 1930s by the Swedish coach Gustav Hulmer in response to his team being continuously beaten by the Flying Finns. It gradually spread through America and Australia in the 40s, 50s and 60s, and is now a popular 10K training method throughout the world of athletics.
Everybody, hello Chloe.
Good
morning.
Good morning. So the second session for 10K improvement is a multi-paced one, and before we got into the session we did a 2-mile warm-up along the trail to get those muscles nice and loose and warm.
Today's session is a multi-pace session, 1 time 6 minutes at a tempo effort of 2 minutes, 5 times 2 minutes of 1 minute, that's around 10K effort, and 5 times 30 seconds as fast as the legs will carry us. Squat, go.
And once again, we can't emphasise strongly enough the importance of doing a good dynamic warm-up following the ramp principle before launching into any speed work. So we spent quite a bit of time, 10 to 15 minutes, going through the drills you can see here. So for this particular session we had a group of runners who ranged in ability from a current 38-minute 10k run, you can just see going past on there, to people who would be running nearer 50 minutes for 10k at present. So for the first tempo interval we did an out and back, so everybody finished at the same place at the same time, ready to roll into the 2-minute repetitions. It was then easy to keep the entire group together and people could work with each other, work off each other, to improve those times and support each other through the session. So why multi-pace sessions? Well, the first reason is they're fun and interesting to do. It's something I've personally put into my training mix over the past year, and I've thoroughly enjoyed each multi-pace session I have taken part in. So in addition to the psychological benefits, you've also got the physiological benefits. You can work different energy systems within the same run. Now let's say you've only got time for one workout per week, and you decided to do a VO2 max workout. That would mean if you had to do a lactate threshold workout and a basic speed workout, you wouldn't get to work on your VO2 max for another 4 weeks. But in this session we incorporated lactate threshold, VO2 max and basic speed, so all runners got to work those 3 important elements of their running profile. And finally they help you dial in paces, which can lead to more effective pacing in races. Completes 10k session number 2. The multi-pace one, good group. You get to work against people or work with people and pace yourself off them, and I think everybody got something out of that run. So the third 10k session we bring to you are our old favourites, the 400s. Now these traditionally have been done on a track, but you can do them on a measured road section, or we're quite lucky to have near our home this loop you can see here, which is 520 metres all the way around, so it lends itself to 400 metres hard with 120 metres jog recovery. So for this particular coach session, because there were just 3 of us of broadly similar 10k standard, we did 16 400s straight off, the paces being at somewhere between our current 5k and 10k road racing paces. The session was aimed at boosting our VO2 max whilst minimising the risk of injuries. The beauty of 400s is you can do it whatever coaching group you have. In the past we have run these as 2 times 15-minute sections with a 3-minute jog recovery, so the runners we have compete the amount of reps according to their current ability. You can also progress them up to doing up to 25 laps, or as Emil Zatopek famously did, up to 40 400 metre repeats. And one final piece of coaching advice: when attempting 400 metre repeats, try and run each rep at a consistent pace. Don't set off too quickly and end up burning up halfway through the set. So adding 400 metre repeats into your 10k training mix can really see you come on leaps and bounds towards that 10k goal time.
So session 4 is explosive hill sprints. Now to do these, what you need to do is first a good warm-up of around 2 miles. When you've done your warm-up, doing a set of drills is really important because you're going to be making your body work very hard. Find a very steep hill, and when you get to the hill, this is where you're going to get ready to do some explosive hill sprints. The hill sprints were done with 2 sets of 5 of 10 to 15 seconds. You do not need to run any more than 10 to 15 seconds because you're going to be running them at 95% effort. That's really hard. You're then going to have a full recovery walk back down the hill of around 90 seconds. Between the 2 sets of 5, you need to take a 3-minute jog recovery. This is so that you can actually hit the full power that's needed for these sprints. There are 3 benefits of doing explosive hill sprints. The first one is strength. Now normally we'll go to the gym and we may do squats and lunges to develop strength or use weight machines. But by doing explosive hill sprints, you're actually using running specific motion and you're developing the leg strength that you need to execute a good 10k. The Second main benefit is neuromuscular development. What this means is how our brains communicate with our muscles. And by doing these explosive hill sprints, our brain tells our muscles how to move in a much more efficient manner. So the third benefit is cardiovascular improvements. Explosive hill sprints develop a more efficient heart by decreasing our heart rate.
So we hope you've liked this video of our favourite 10k sessions, and if you have, please give us a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, we'd love you on board. And if you've enjoyed this 10k video, you may like watching John at the very competitive Telford 10k.
So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.